Please welcome your hosts for this evening, Lisa Gibert, CEO of the Clark College Foundation, joined by Eric Merrill, Chairman of the Clark College Foundation Board.
To our Penguin Nation alumni and friends from Washington to California to Florida, welcome to Savoring Excellence 2020, presented by our wonderful friends at Waste Connections. I'm Lisa Gibert, CEO of Clark College Foundation, and I'm joined by my good friend and Chairman of the Clark College Foundation Board, Mr. Eric Merrill.
Good evening, Lisa.
Hey, hi.
Good to be here.
It is. It's nice to be here, and I feel so dressed up. I haven't done this in a while.
It's since March.
Yeah, exactly.
As you can see, our March much-loved Savoring Excellence celebration is a little bit different this year. Obviously, the pandemic has affected all of us in various and profound ways. So instead of gathering in person at the Hilton Hotel in downtown Vancouver, as we had planned earlier this year, we've had to go to this virtual format in order to keep everyone safe.
We are very grateful that you have decided to join us despite these changes. We care about you, and we only wish the best for you and your loved ones. We are heartbroken in light of the lives lost and affected by this horrible virus. Some of them Clark College alumni and friends. You are in our thoughts and prayers.
Some people have questioned whether we should even be holding this event. Some have said it's just not the right time. There are too many disheartening and divisive things happening in the world. And while we understand these concerns, our answer is this. If now is not the most opportune time to pull together in support of each other and our college, the students who are committed to attending, and the faculty and staff who are dedicated to supporting them, then when is the right time? And over the course of this evening, I think you'll understand why we feel this way.
That's right, Eric. During and after this very powerful program, we're convinced you are going to feel better about the world. You're going to hear some beautiful music performed by 3 of Clark College's talented music students. You'll be introduced to this year's group of outstanding Clark College Alumni Award recipients, some of the most impressive and diverse honorees to date.
We'll present the 2020 Clark College Foundation Award for Excellence to one of the region's most important industrious and cultural partners. And in honor of our outstanding faculty, this year's president of the Associated Students of Clark College will give a special acknowledgement to a professor who has conducted a most prestigious 30-year academic career.
And if you haven't already heard, we have a new president, Dr. Karen Edwards. Tonight will mark her inaugural message to our Greater Penguin community. She'll lay out her vision for Clark College and how she's leading this institution during these challenging times. And finally, we've got some exciting news to share with you regarding Clark College's historic $35 million comprehensive campaign, Promising Pathways. I don't want to be a spoiler, Eric, but let's just say that we have an announcement tonight with a particular digit followed by a lot of zeros, if you get my drift.
I think I do, Lisa. And I couldn't be more excited for what this means to the college and our deserving students. But we want to begin by thanking some important businesses that have made tonight possible.
They are our event donors, beginning with tonight's presenting sponsor, Waste Connections. Thank you, Waste Connections, not only for what you do for Savoring Excellence, but how you support various activities all year long. And a personal thank you to you, Eric, for making that donation possible.
We also want to thank our other platinum sponsors, including Ginn Group, Hornstein Law Group, and Vesta Hospitality, along with our gold, silver, and supporting donors, Quail Homes, Arnrich Messina, U.S. Bank, Riverview Community Bank, Modern Video Media, and our media partner, the Columbian. We also want to acknowledge my fellow members of the Clark College Foundation Board of Directors, as well as our Alumni Board, who have helped make this event and all of our efforts possible. There are other college and community leaders to acknowledge, and we will do that throughout today's program. By the way, using the chat mechanism on your screen, you can comment in real time about anything you see and enjoy. Please share your thoughts with us. But now, what do you say, Lisa? Shall we get on with the show?
Absolutely. We've waited long enough to celebrate and savor the excellence that is Clark College, which brings us to our first award of the evening. The Cowlitz Indian Tribe are ancient people steeped in tradition and rich with culture. Since receiving federal government recognition as an official nation in 2000, the Cowlitz Indian Tribe has reached out to help build and maintain strong and impactful bonds throughout Southwest Washington and beyond. Today, they are one of the largest employers and major contributors to our local economies. They help us all gain a much more profound and sensitive understanding of Native American cultures. They remind us of the obstacles and injustices that First Peoples have faced, while at the same time demonstrating the exciting future they are building. Clark College has become a partner in this journey of understanding. Through engaging conversations, the college and the Cowlitz leaders are finding important ways to support each other as we address the critical educational needs of all of our people. One of the programs the Cowlitz Indian Tribe has embraced at Clark is the Veterans Resource Center. This crucial and life-affirming resource supports hundreds of veteran students every year. Through scholarships, emergency funding, counseling, textbook support, and internships, the Veterans Resource Center is one of the most promising pathways for our men and women who dedicated themselves to protecting all of us. Over the last couple of years, the Cowlitz Indian Tribe has contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars towards the Veterans Resource Center and to other programs at Clark focused on serving students from marginalized communities. The tribe's commitment to reaching out is reflected generously in their community investments. And for these reasons, and so many more, it is my honor and pleasure to name the Cowlitz Indian Tribe as this year's recipient of the Clark College Foundation Award for Excellence. Acknowledging this award tonight is Phil Harju, Chairman of the Cowlitz Indian Tribe's General Council, and Tana Engdahl, Spiritual Leader of the tribe.
Noxwas, this is Philip Harju, Tribal Chairman for the Cowlitz Indian Tribe. I want to virtually be with you at this virtual dinner. I can't be there, but I do know that Tana Engdahl, our spiritual leader, is there, and along with Dr. Edwards, I guess, at the president's table. I first want to thank and congratulate Dr. Edwards. I have not met you yet, but congratulations on your appointment as the president there at Clark College. I am a proud Penguin alumni, class of '74, and I am proud to say that I grew up in Clark County, Washington. I have, as I said, I attended Clark College. My family has also dedicated one of my most precious resources. My daughter, Dr. Ellen Harju, has worked at Clark College as the MESA director in the past. We are honored and grateful to partner with Clark College in support of your work to empower student veterans to receive the education they need to build successful and prosperous lives for their families and communities. The land that is now Clark County has always been a part of Cowlitz Tribe's ancestral homeland, and giving back to our community and looking after our neighbors continues to be central to our tribal cultural values. We honor We are honored to support our local academic community with grant dollars that benefit programs and empower students. We consider this the first of many opportunities to partner with Clark College to build a strong and lasting relationship with Clark College and its students. On behalf of the Cowlitz Tribe, thank you for this award and opportunity. Go Penguins.
Greetings. I'm Tana Ingdahl, spiritual leader of the Cowlitz Tribe. So wherever you are, this is to invite you to join me in a few minutes of quiet time. As we settle ourselves, we are reminded that we Cowlitz are descendants of survivors of a distant pandemic that nearly rendered us extinct. But as a people, we are still here in this modern age on Cowlitz Aboriginal lands. In this, we thank the Creator for keeping those memories fresh. In keeping with the here and now, we thank the Creator for the avenues of knowledge offered by this college. We ask all who are attending this excellence gathering be showered with the grace of success in advancing education under the most trying times. Our linkage here together means we all have an investment in this process. We pray our combined energies will propel us forward to advance education to all communities in an equitable manner. We ask this in the name of the High God. Oh.
Thank you both. Your words move us, and we are so grateful for our significant and growing relationship. There's actually another wonderful connection between our Indigenous communities and the recipient of tonight's Clark College Foundation Outstanding Alumni Award. Her accomplishments, along with those of the recipient of our Rising Star Alumni Award, are further proof that Clark College alumni are changing the world for the better. Here to present the first two alumni awards for 2020 is our Director of Alumni Relations, Ed Boston.
Thanks, Eric and Lisa. Clark alumna and Washington State Representative Gina Mossbrucker made national and international headlines over the last couple of years, doing something no one else in the country had ever done before. She pushed through state legislation to begin to identify and investigate missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in Washington. No one still really knows how many women are affected, but thanks to Representative Mossbrucker, law enforcement agencies are getting closer to helping hundreds, if not thousands, of families find some answers. Representative Mossbrucker journey was highlighted in the summer 2019 edition of Clark's Partners magazine, and also on our Penguin Chat podcast. To this date, the second most listened to podcast since it was launched in 2017. The Honorable Mossbrucker represents the 14th district and is the vice chair of the Republican caucus, the second highest position in Republican leadership. Gina also owns and operates a number of successful small businesses in her hometown of Goldendale. Gabriel Foster is this year's recipient of the Rising Star Award, an acknowledgement given to an alumnus under the age of 36 who is accomplishing extraordinary things and is involved in Clark and the community. Gabe is a deputy prosecutor for Clark County. He gives career guidance and develops internships for current students. He has also taught a course on landlord-tenant law at the college. He provides pro bono legal aid and training for young lawyers through the Clark County Volunteer Lawyers Program. Please join me in congratulating tonight's first two Outstanding Alumni Award recipients.
had a really great political science teacher, and we had a great program here, and I fell in love with making change. I had a great counselor too here. I had a really great counselor that, I think I was a single mom, and I thought, how in the world am I going to get to University of Washington? That was my ultimate goal. And you had reciprocity law here, which is amazing. So I thought I can leave as a junior, go straight into UW. I don't have to retake classes. And she just said, you can do anything you want. That's why I love community college, because, I had 700 people in my class at UW, right? So when I got there in Kane Hall, and it was like, how in the world do you, but I love community college because you're able to connect one-on-one with their professors. You're able to have them know about your life. They're happy to share their life. They're just really, they inspire you to figure out what you love.
Good evening. My name is Gibert Foster. I'm the recipient of the 2020 Rising Star Award, which you can see right here. And I wanted to make a few comments. I had 3 thoughts that I wanted to share for the dinner tonight. The first was that receiving this award has been an incredible honor for me during a particularly hectic year. I know that this year has not gone according to plan, and this has been a really special part of my year, being part of this. The second thing that receiving this award made me think of was reflecting on Clark College. I had the privilege to go there from 2010 to 2012, and I reflected on the teachers I had there, the high quality of education, and ultimately taking some sociology and political science classes that really started interested me in how the world works, and ultimately kind of led me to my profession now as a prosecutor with Clark County. So I really felt like the education at Clark College for me was quite amazing. And the third thing receiving this award made me think of is that I could not have done it without my wife, Roseanne. Roseanne is, for those of you who know her, she is a extremely hard worker. She is a mother of 2 to our children, Evelyn and Andrew. And she's really made possible all the extra things I've been able to do outside of work with the community, work with Clark College, and teaching a little bit at Clark College as well. So I'm very thankful for you, Roseanne, and thank you for allowing me to pursue my passions, and for that I'll be forever thankful. So I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you for your time and listening to me, and I hope you have a great dinner.
What impressive examples of community leadership that has been nurtured in part right here at Clark. Many of today's community leaders were once Clark students, and today's students are the promise of tomorrow. One current student who is bound for greatness, this year's president of the Associated Students of Clark College, Josiah Joyner. Josiah knows that his potential is tied to some very special people who help shape his hopes and dreams every day, along with the nearly 10,000 students attending Clark College. He believes these remarkable people need to be celebrated, and we agree. Josiah?
There are more than 1,000 reasons why I and every other student at Clark College are able to focus on our studies and work to achieve our ambitious goals. That's the number of faculty and staff who dedicate themselves to the students day after day. To say that these people are superheroes, especially during a time like this, is an understatement. Take, for example, one of our baking and pastry instructors. At the first of the lockdown, she literally turned to her own pantry to find things to bake while teaching her students over video conferencing. Imagine instructing vocal or instrumental students over the computer, trying to coordinate multiple voices or instruments to get everyone on the same page, literally. Or how about the diesel and automotive instructors who risk their lives continuing to teach face-to-face because you can't expect students to train on their own vehicles at home. Coronavirus or not, our faculty and staff do their best to distinguish themselves in their programs, not for their own benefit, but for the benefit of we students in our entire community. While every single one of them deserve to be highlighted and celebrated, tonight we want to focus on one of our faculty members who, in many ways, is representative of our entire faculty. Dr. Don Apper, Chair of Clark College's Music Department, is making an important milestone. 30 years at Clark College. Teacher, conductor, composer, trombonist, Professor Apper has many notable accomplishments. For those of you who have enjoyed the outstanding musical numbers at previous Savoring Excellence celebrations and other college events and concerts, you may know how talented these students and alumni are. Thanks to professors like Dr. Apper, he might be best known for the work he has done to grow something quite rare and completely wonderful, an award-winning, respected community college orchestra, an orchestra that provides profound musical experience for Clark students while enriching the cultural landscape of Southwest Washington. Thank you, Dr. Apper.
30 years. 30 years feels very full, actually, I think. In some ways, it's a little astounding even to me. I mean, I came here much younger with brown hair. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of hope, a lot of plans. The orchestra began in 1988. A couple years before I was hired in 1990. My predecessor left me with a list of about 25 people that he'd had in the orchestra, and about half of them came back. The first year was truly a building year, so didn't have a whole lot of students necessarily in the beginning. I had about 15 in the beginning, so about a third of the orchestra was students. At this point, there are more students in the orchestra. I'm happy to say that's one of the things that's grown over the years with the size of the orchestra and also with the way the program has grown. I love the sports analogy because people are so impressed when the person puts in their three-point shot. Well, imagine getting, 90 people to do a three-point shot together. That's kind of what it's like when you have an orchestra playing complicated music that all has to fit together and make what the composer wanted to hear come out, and more importantly than that, to impact people. To be honest, we don't think of ourselves as a community college. Oh, we're just a community college. We think of ourselves as musicians, making and sharing music with people. And this is another reason why these concerts are always free. And I'm happy to say that a good portion of that, too, is because of our support from the Clark College Foundation and student government. Student government has been very supportive over the years in helping us to keep the quality of the program at the level that we've wanted to do. And the good thing is that continues to attract serious students. The term that they use in Europe when you guest conduct, of course, they refer to as maestro. And maestro in Italian, it literally means teacher. My favorite hat, to be honest, is the conducting hat. Even as a professor of music, I tend to relate to the students through that performance aspect. It's been a real journey, I guess, is a good way of looking at it. In some ways, it's been a surprising journey. I've been very pleased with what I think I've been able to accomplish here in 30 years. 30 years is a real milestone.
Congratulations, Dr. Appert, and thank you for your 30 years of teaching and performing. And thank you to all of our faculty and staff. As you've just seen, Clark's respected music department is known for producing more than its fair share of talented musicians.
And one of those students, Christina Bolvanoff, is joining us this evening to perform the classic Roberta Flack hit, Killing Me Softly. She's accompanied by two talented Clark Music alumnus, Eric Roscoe and Dennis Karnock. We're convinced more than ever that when you've heard Christina sing, it's a name and a voice that you won't soon forget.
strumming my pain with his finger, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style, and so I came to see him, to listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his finger, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I felt a flush with fever, embarrassed by the crowd. I felt he found my letters and read each one out loud. I prayed that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, singing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. With his song, strumming my pain with his finger, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
Hello, Ed Boston again. It's not unusual these days for members of the LGBTQ plus community to come out on social media. But imagine coming out in 1970 on the equivalent of today's social media, which just happened to be one of the most popular radio talk shows in the Portland metropolitan area. Well, that's exactly what George Oberg Jr. did, our next Outstanding Alumni Award recipient. Then he went on to help change the way society sees and interacts with this community. A true pioneer, George was the first president of the primary support organization at the time for gays and lesbians in the Northwest. the second foundation. He also helped launch the first Gay Pride celebration in Oregon in 1971. George was the first LGBTQ plus leader to help teachers and counselors work with Oregon students. And during the height of the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s and 90s, George played a major role working with area doctors and nurses to establish best medical practices being used in metropolitan areas like San Francisco and New York City. He even turned his living room into a makeshift hospital room for AIDS sufferers who had been abandoned by family and friends. Oberg is the first openly gay person in the 42-year history of the Outstanding Alumni Awards to be acknowledged for work supporting the LGBTQ plus community. Ophelia Noble is one of today's leading and most respected voices in the regional conversation around diversity, equity, and inclusion. A passionate community activist, Ophelia founded the Noble Foundation in 2011. This think tank and philanthropic organization provides communities with outreach, advocacy, community organizing, and organizational support. The Noble Foundation is currently focusing on the Cross-Cultural Narrative Project, capturing authentic community voices and praise throughout Southwest Washington. And it was recently awarded a large federal contract to help coordinate the national census in non-dominant communities to help secure maximum participation. Ophelia is an unabashed believer in education as a key to transforming lives. And as a proud ambassador of her alma mater, she supports the institution's efforts to dismantle traditional barriers to students from systemically non-dominant communities. It is an honor to present the next 2020 Clark College Outstanding Alumni Awards to George Oberg Jr. and Ophelia Noble.
Hello, my name is Ophelia Noble, graduating class of Clark College, 1998. I've been asked to record about 2 minutes of video expressing and reflecting upon what this award, the 2020 Outstanding Alumni Award honor, means to me. And as I have spent time reflecting, what I realized is that it can be summed up so quickly with growth. Growth of an individual, growth of community, growth of family, growth of and progress of ideas and thoughts on how we want our community to be shaped and formed far into the future. I also reflect on, being a graduate of Pantera Alternative School and walking onto the campus nervous and not knowing which way and which direction and how things would work out, but just having a deep desire of knowing that I did want to receive an education, and really the challenges that surrounded receiving that education, being a single mom, receiving TANF and food stamps, and then somehow graduating from Clark College and working for the state of Washington for 10 years, DSHS, and really having a servant leadership model established through Clark College that I've carried with me for the past 20 plus years. I think that as I accept this honor and really get a little emotional, I don't accept it on behalf of where I've been. I accept this on behalf of, as an individual, where I plan to go, and the support and encouragement of Clark College, alumni, faculty at the time, staff, and, there were hard times, but, I feel like as a community with the Black Student Union and the activities that we were able to develop on campus and the camaraderie that we were able to broaden and the network of support that we were able to provide one another here on this campus. I'm just so honored and thankful for Clark College recognizing more than just tenacity, but the courage to be present and remain in community and strength and humility and love. Thank you.
I didn't consider myself a Joan of Arc type person. I didn't look back at it as, gee, look what wonderful things I did. I was very pleased that it happened. But it wasn't just me. It was a whole room full of people who all had the same attitudes, hopes, desires of not having to just spend the rest of our lives hiding and drinking in bars. I decided on freedom way before then. I just didn't have that group behind me to help out. It was just the outcome of coming out and finding that there were so many other people who were free of the fear that it just was like a shot in the arm of both pride, energy, gratification,
and freedom.
Congratulations, Ophelia and George. We're so proud of both of you, and we thank you for your efforts in making this community more inclusive. By now, you've heard that Clark College has a new president. Dr. Karen Edwards is the 15th leader of our institution. And while she arrives at one of the most challenging times in Clark's history, her optimism offers a beacon of hope for our students, particularly those who are facing numerous barriers, not just COVID-19.
Dr. Edwards is the cover story for up-and-coming issue of Clark College Foundation's Partners magazine. It's a fascinating look at one of the country's most respected and knowledgeable voices in community college education today. It includes her personal story about a young girl from the Bronx in New York City who grew up believing in the power of transformation. I hope you'll take the time to read her inspiring story when the issue comes out next month.
But you don't have to wait that long to be introduced to our new leader, because Dr. Edwards joins us this evening. Dr. Edwards, welcome to Clark College and to your first of what we know will be many Savoring Excellence celebrations.
Thank you, Eric and Lisa. Good evening, and thank all of you for joining us. It's an honor and a privilege to recognize and celebrate Clark College, the oldest, largest, and most diverse institution of higher education in Southwest Washington. I want to express my appreciation to all of our alumni and friends who contribute so much to Clark, not just in terms of dollars, but also your time and your talents. I want to welcome our students who have joined us this evening. This event is really a celebration of you, your potential, your perseverance, and your promise. Thanks to our superstar student body leadership this year, led by Josiah Jonah, who you already met. They bring an energetic and refreshing perspective to the college. I'm grateful for their counsel and enthusiasm for Clark. The college's executive cabinet is the hardest working group of people I know. They work tirelessly to lead and support our institution as we navigate the various challenges and opportunities that come before us. I'm delighted to have deans, department chair, faculty, and staff are also represented here tonight. They are the driving force behind our institution. We respect and appreciate their expertise, creativity, and dedication. And last but certainly not least, I must express gratitude to our trustees. They spend a great deal of time promoting, advocating, and caring about our college. They are committed to providing access to quality educational experiences for all of our students and residents of Clark County. I want them to know how much I appreciate their guidance, leadership, and support. The theme of this year's Savoring Excellence is Momentous, Milestones, Transformative Tomorrows. Our country is facing significant challenges as a result of COVID-19, the economic downturn, social unrest, and heightened racial injustice. Yes, to be sure, we also face challenges at Clark and in higher ed as well. I'm confident we'll find our way through these difficulties. Our mission is critically important to the future of our community. Tonight, I want to touch on some of our milestones to celebrate. For example, this year marks the 50th graduating class of Clark Dental Hygiene Program, one of the most respected programs of its kind in the country. This year, we successfully launched our 4th applied baccalaureate degree in cybersecurity. Enrollment in our bachelor degree programs is nearly doubled from last year. You've learned already about Don Appert's remarkable 30-year career at Clark, and in an unfathomable amount of time for higher education, this institution transformed from a mostly traditional face-to-face learning environment to all online due to the coronavirus. It's been a heavy lift, but our strength and our resiliency prevailed. Looking ahead, we are developing plans on how to maximize our resources and generate new revenue through the development of Clark College East at our Columbia Tech campus, working with our business and community partners. We continue to advocate for state support for the development of Bashma Farms in Ridgefield, including our Advanced Manufacturing Academic Center. We're developing a new college and high school program to increase dual credit opportunities for students. And next week, we will submit an application for a pilot program with the state of Washington to offer Running Start in the summer. We're also developing a 5th bachelor's degree program at Clark in early education. We will align all of our work with 4 priorities that the Board of Trustees and I have laid out for the college. Our first priority is to improve student success. Last year, we awarded over 1,500 degrees. However, the majority of our students indicate they want to earn a degree, but only half of them do. We want to increase completion, whether it is certification in a technical trade, a 2-year or 4-year degree. Our students, particularly those from systemically non-dominant communities, have a better chance of securing family wage position and long-term security if they have their academic credential. Numerous studies show that a person can earn $1 million or more over the course of a lifetime with an associate's degree. Graduates also take with them the important and valuable life and leadership skills when they have an opportunity to complete their studies. And this is good for everyone in the community. Guided Pathways is the foundation by which we improve student experience. From advising to class scheduling to real-time support, Clark College is making strides to improve the student experience at the college. 37% of our students are low income. More than a third are first-generation college goers, and nearly a third of our students have children at home. Imagine going to college, working, taking care of children during COVID-19, and then imagine you've lost your job and can't cover the basics. Your support oftentimes makes the difference between a student staying in school and having to drop out. Thank you. To support student success, we also need to make sure that our classes are tailored to meet the needs of students and employers in our community. We think student success translates to community success as we work our way out of this recession. The second priority for Clark is financial stability. As you know, enrollment continues a downward trend. That, coupled with rising costs, has created deficits resulting in budget cuts 3 of the last 4 years. It hampers our ability to be strategic and agile. It harms the stability and the morale of hardworking staff and faculty. To strengthen our financial position, we're doing the difficult work of evaluating how and what we do. We are exploring ways to generate additional revenue through enrollment, non-credit programs, and strategic partnerships to best leverage our resources. This is hard work and it's tough conversations at the college, but it's necessary, and we're leaning into the work. Creating an inclusive, welcoming, and caring environment for all to work and learn. We all want to feel that our talents, skills, and potentials are acknowledged and developed. We want students to have space and place to be heard, to connect and belong. It's even harder when they're remote, not on campus, and not able to see each other. We will continue to build the relationships that make Clark a special place. This is ongoing work, and it will take time. And finally, we're going to more actively engage in our community. There's a reason we call it community colleges. We are all living in a symbiotic environment where everyone is affected by what happens to the other. I'm thrilled about the many activities I'm already seeing. I think of Vigor and our partnership matching our curriculum with industry needs that result in internships and family wage jobs. I think of our automotive partners, our high-tech companies that partner with Clark. It's a win-win, and we want to do more of it moving forward. There's also an effort underway to build consistent and productive internship program between the college and local businesses. This effort is being driven in part by John Gerard of Quail Homes, one of tonight's generous donors, along with other business leaders. These internships are required to fill unique employment needs and build strong leaderships within companies. Thank you, John, and your partners for taking on this effort. And it goes without saying that one of the best ways our community can engage with the college is by supporting Promising Pathways, the $35 million campaign for Clark College. For those of you who may be wondering about the best way to support me as a new president, I'd ask you to consider contributing to the campaign. Nothing else could be more pressing right now or have the potential of being impactful. And ask your friends to join us in this important endeavor. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to address you this evening, for welcoming me with such warm, open arms, figuratively speaking, of course. I look forward to meeting many of you throughout the year in one of our virtual gatherings. If you want to be a part of these conversations, please contact the foundation, and they would be happy to include you. I also look forward to seeing you in person at our next Savoring Excellence. Until then, I wish you and your loved ones good health and best wishes during these challenging times. Thank you.
Thank you, President Edwards. I'm happy to present the final two recipients of this year's Outstanding Alumni Awards. In educational circles, Lucy Estrada-Guzman is known as the real deal. She teaches what she has lived, and what her life has taught her is that for every child to succeed, they must be included and provided quality education. Lucy first knew she wanted to be an educator while working for Clark County's Head Start program 30 years ago. She completed her degree at Clark and then went on to earn her bachelor's and master's degrees in education. It was while serving as associate principal at Sarah J. Anderson Elementary School, she piloted a dual language program for young children whose first language isn't English. This was a revolutionary approach to teaching language, helping students to become fluent in two languages, their first and English, thus preserving elements of their original cultures. Today, Lucy is the principal at Harney Elementary School in Vancouver, where she continues to add her expertise to strengthening the region's first full immersion dual language initiative. Lucy is truly dedicated to Clark. She does almost everything she is called upon to do to help students, just as she was helped along the way. Lucy is a powerful ambassador for Clark and was recently named to the Clark College Foundation Alumni Board. Alexis Madrigal is an author and scholar. He's currently getting a great deal of attention, helping to lead one of the nation's largest and most significant coronavirus tracking projects. A running start student at Clark College, Alexis graduated magna cum laude from Harvard University in English. He's a visiting scholar at UC Berkeley, and in addition to his work on the coronavirus tracking project for the Atlantic, He's also one of the staff writers for this very influential international magazine. Alexis' first book, Powering the Dream, The History and Promise of Green Technology, was published in 2011. Alexis recently headlined a large virtual event for Clark's alumni program, talking about the crucial work in the country's battle tracking the deadly coronavirus. That webinar had the highest number of views of any program on our YouTube channel this year. Our final 2020 Outstanding Alumni Award recipients are truly helping to change the world. Lucy Estrada-Guzman and Alexis Magical.
I want to thank the Clark College Alumni Board for this wonderful award. I really am thankful. I feel blessed. I am not the person I am without what Clark College did for me. I feel like Clark College saved me, saved my path, helped give me a path towards a future that I did not even know that I deserved. Through the wonderful encouragement and guidance of the professors and the financial aid office and everyone at Clark College, I was able to finish my education. I was able to finish and go on to a career that I truly love, a means of helping and supporting my community, and I couldn't have done it without the help and support of Clark. I feel truly thankful and grateful, and I am proud to be alumni of such a wonderful organization. Thank you.
Well, first, I just wanted to thank you for having me here, and also just acknowledge the role that Clark College played for me, specifically on some of the issues. My father's from Mexico, my mom's from Massachusetts, so I was kind of always aware of kind of race and ethnicity as key structuring things in American life. But at Clark College, I had an amazing professor, Dr. Samuel Kelly, who was the first Black dean in the University of Washington system, and then kind of in his retirement had sort of come and was teaching at a night class in American history at Clark in 1999. And I was lucky enough to take his class, and he was just an incredibly influential figure for me in that, he had been a major civil rights leader in a bunch of different kind of ways, not just within the university, but in the military. He was a Korean War veteran, and then he actually ran a school there in the area in the Northwest. And I feel like he really embodied for me the kind of moral purpose and sense of justice that you can particularly get in someone who's sort of been through it.
Thanks, Ed, and congratulations to Alexis and Lucy. You continue to touch lives in real and profound ways. Eric, we have seen some amazing alumni presented at Savoring Excellence celebrations over the year, but this group of individuals is certainly up there in terms of their accomplishments.
And they are all such enthusiastic ambassadors for Clark. That's certainly one of the things I love to hear, that sincere appreciation for an institution that has helped transform their lives in such meaningful ways. And why we need to continue to provide these opportunities for growth and success for all of our students.
Absolutely. So speaking of success, we see a fantastic future ahead for our musical performers this evening, Christina Bulbanoff, Dennis Carnocht, and Eric Roscoe. Once again, here's Christina singing I Wish You Love.
I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing. kiss. But more than this, I wish you love. And in July, lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health, but more than wealth, I wish you love. My breaking heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. Oh, my breaking heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love.
And after everything we've experienced tonight, it's easy to see that tomorrow offers a great deal of promise to our students here at Clark College. Many of you out there remember that nearly 5 years ago, we announced an ambitious undertaking to make sure that we could support transformational educational pathways for generations to come.
The initiative, launched back in 2015, was named Promising Pathways, the $35 million campaign for Clark College. Simply put, we did this because of the tremendous need for funding. And since then, the net need has become even greater. Declining government education funding, increasing education costs, a challenging jobs market, and now a worldwide pandemic create unimaginable hurdles. It's probably not an overstatement to say that today's students are facing a scary question. Is a quality education even possible, given these obstacles and barriers?
It's a question many students and their parents are asking all across the country. But what we hope we've demonstrated here tonight is the answer to that question is without a doubt a resounding yes. It might look and feel different. It might require creativity, patience, understanding, and concerted efforts on all of our parts. But yes, we can create an educational pathways of promise for all of our students at Clark College, but we need your help.
Those who have attended Savoring Excellence before know this is not a fundraising event. It is truly an opportunity for us to celebrate the amazing things that continue to happen at Clark College, and to thank the nearly 5,000 unique individuals and entities who have so far helped us raise more than $26 million towards our $35 million goal. What's truly exciting is that more than 60% of our campaign partners have never given to Clark College Foundation before, which tells us we're reaching out, including more people in our remarkable journey than ever before. For those of you who are being introduced to Clark College for the first time, We hope you'll see why an investment in our students, our faculty, and our staff is an investment in all of our futures.
We're making amazing progress in our campaign, especially in the area of scholarships. Originally, our scholarship goal was $8 million, but because of your response, we've secured more than $14 million in scholarships and awards. So we've decided to double our scholarship fundraising goal to $16 million.
To date, we've raised more than $5 million towards our $8 million goal to support the new program at the Todd and Maxine McClaskey Culinary Institute. We've brought in nearly $1 million towards a goal of $3 million to support one of the most important academic efforts in Clark's history, and that's Guided Pathways. Guided Pathways is aimed at building crucial wraparound services that will help our students stay in school and complete their studies.
And we've raised $1.3 million towards a goal of $2 million to support the Veterans Resource Center, which you've heard about earlier this evening. And our generous supporters have contributed more than $5 million towards a goal of $7 million to support ongoing programs and projects that Clark is recognized for across the region and our nation. Your amazing support has brought both Clark College and Clark College Foundation national acclaim. Because of you, Clark College Foundation continues to be recognized as one of the leaders in community college philanthropy in the country. And our Alumni Relations Program has recently been cited by the Council for Advancement and Supportive Education as one of the 7 best community college alumni programs in the nation.
And as proud as we are of these accomplishments, we are more proud of our students, faculty, and staff who've been highlighted here tonight. But in order for us to continue to support the college, especially in these trying times, we need to make sure we complete our Promising Pathways campaign. That means we need your help in securing the final nearly $9 million to help us reach our goal. Now, $9 million is still a significant sum, but we're confident.
Well, just wait a minute, Eric. I think before the night is over, we might be able to push that number down a little bit that still needs to be raised. After all, what would a Savoring Excellence be without a couple of surprises, right? You'll remember several years ago when George Fullerton, retired Clark College coach, shocked the audience with the announcement that he was creating an endowment to provide more than 20 full-time athletic scholarships every year in perpetuity.
Who could forget that? And then at our last Savoring Excellence Gala, there were plenty of happy tears in the room when Bob Blanchard stood up and announced that his late father, Robert Wallace, a 1937 Clark graduate, established a $4 million endowment to provide scholarships to Clark students.
I was certainly one of those that was in awe of such a wonderful gift. What a magical and special evening that was. Tonight, we're going to announce a couple of remarkable gifts that will put smiles on the faces of all of our guests. And while I share this exciting information, I want to certainly say that we are truly grateful to all the gifts that come in and support Clark. From the $5 donors to those that have the capacity to do so much more, please know that all gifts make a difference. For example, the recent Give More 24 community fundraising effort supported by our Community Foundation for Southwest Washington, our friends and alumni contributed more than $20,000 in one day to support our students at Clark. These were mainly $25, $100, and $500 gifts.
And since March, our generous friends and alumni have contributed more than $500,000 to help fund emergency grants, the Penguin Pantry, and other critical Guided Pathways program needs. Without the support of all of our friends, in all gift amounts, we would not be able to help meet these pressing needs.
Good point, Eric.
So, how long are we going to keep our friends waiting for tonight's gift announcements?
Okay. I won't keep everybody in suspense any longer. First, our dear friends, Doug and Heather Green, have established a $100,000 gift annuity to support student programs. This incredibly generous and, might I add, very handsome couple continues to make our community stronger through their involvement and philanthropic investments. Doug and Heather, thank you so much for everything that you do for Clark College and the foundation.
Yes, thank you, Heather and Doug. Your generosity is inspirational. I've also heard the upcoming issue of Clark Partners magazine has a page devoted to how people can structure a similar kind of gift opportunity that will benefit our students.
Speaking of Clark Partners, our second couple was highlighted in the summer 2018 edition. Who can forget this striking vista seen from the back door of Carol Ewing in Sanford Jones' Arizona home? And talk about impressive credentials. Well, Carol is a chemist who worked in the defense industry for decades. And Sanford, well, literally, he's a rocket scientist. Sanford worked for many years as one of the leaders at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, overseeing the construction of the Space Shuttle Atlantis and the other space orbital projects. Today, Carol and Sanford are retired and spend their time with family, traveling when they can, and supporting Clark College. Sanford serves as a member of the Clark College Foundation Board of Directors. And to top it all off, they have announced and are giving more than $1 million in trust gifts to support Clark's Sciences programs, the Culinary Institute, and Clark College Foundation's Unrestricted Fund. Isn't that amazing?
It sure is. And on behalf of everyone at Clark, especially our students, Carol and Sanford, Doug and Heather, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
So you know what this means, Eric?
I think so, Lisa.
This means we get to change our campaign numbers by adding more than $1 million to the totals. Thanks to this wonderful support, we have raised $27.5 million. And all of this for Guided Pathways at Clark College. And we say goodbye. We hope you think about how you can help our deserving students by supporting this critically important endeavor. Go to our website, clarkcollegefoundation.org, and learn more about Promising Pathways, the campaign for Clark College. And while you're at it, check out our interesting and engaging podcast series, Penguin Chats. The series features several of tonight's outstanding alumni award winners, including Lucy Estrada-Guzman and her efforts to improve early childhood education. You'll also learn more about the remarkable efforts of Representative Gina Mossbrucker to help find the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And in a very timely presentation, you'll learn more about the work of Alexis Madrigal is doing to track and trace America's COVID-19 cases. And a final thank you to all of our wonderful and generous donors. With your help and support, these important efforts would not be possible. And to you, Eric, a special thank you for your leadership and support of the college and the foundation. You make all of our jobs easier, more effective, but a heck of a lot more fun.
You are welcome, Lisa. And thank you for your leadership and the great work of your staff in support of Clark College. So until next year, when hopefully we can all be together in person at Savoring Excellence, we wish you and your loved ones good health and happiness. Good night.
Good night, everybody.